Hi friends, welcome back to the Budget Bounce. I'm Jen and we are so glad that you're here. If you're new, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, we're really glad that you came back. We are living life on a budget, fighting our way out of a mountain of stupid debt that we have accumulated over the years. We are following Dave Ramsey's baby steps and are currently on baby step number 2, the debt snowball. We talk about life and personal finance and fighting our way out of this debt that we are in on this channel. So if that's something that you're interested in, hit that subscribe button right down below there and make sure that you hit that bell so that you'll get notifications when we upload new videos currently every Wednesday. In this week's video, I want to talk a little bit about the cash envelope system. If you've spent any amount of time reading, watching, or listening to Dave Ramsey, you've heard him talk about the cash envelope system. He's not the first to promote it, but he is certainly a huge proponent of it and a believer in the power of cash over plastic. So the cash envelope system is basically a way to bring your budget to life by having different envelopes to represent the different categories within your budget. The categories typically utilized are things in your budget that can be budget busters, things that are easy to go over in, like groceries, gas, spending, like your pocket money, entertainment, dining out, things of that nature. But you can actually use the cash envelope system for anything that you want. You can use it for everything if that's how you want to do it. When filled, you can easily see how much money you have left to spend in a specific budget category, which makes it a lot simpler if all you have is cash. If you only have $20 in that envelope, then that's all you can spend. So the way this works is each time that you get paid, you'll fill the envelope with all or a portion of the budget for the month that you have for that category. So for example, if you are going to use cash to buy groceries and you have a $300 grocery budget every month, then what you would do if you are somebody who gets paid twice a month, you would put maybe $150 from your first paycheck and the other $150 from your second paycheck into the envelope. And between those two checks, you have $150 to spend on groceries and no more. And when the cash is gone, you can't buy anything else in that category until you have more money to put into it. The key to making it work is to stay committed to what the money is used for. So anything that comes out of the gas envelope is for gas only. Anything that comes out of the grocery envelope is for groceries only, nothing else. If you forget your envelope when you're on the way to the store or to the gas station, you better turn around and go home and get that envelope because you don't have any money to buy whatever you're heading to the store for. For example, another situation would be maybe you took $50 with you to the grocery store, but you get up to check out and you realize you have $57 worth of purchases. And unfortunately, you only brought $50. Even if you have your debit card with you or a credit card with you, which you should not be using at this stage of the game, if you have a piece of plastic with you, the way that the cash envelope system is truly going to work for you is if you focus on what do I have in the envelope. I have $50. That means I'm going to need to put some things back before I leave because I'm only spending $50 today, not $57. It's really easy to fall into that trap, and it's one of the reasons why Dave is such a huge proponent of using the cash envelope system. Because the power of spending cash, it's intangible, but it works for a lot of people. And while we don't use cash envelopes for everything, I certainly experienced this when I was single and living on a cash envelope system, which I'll share with you here in a minute. So when you have plastic, we just, as a society, we just tend to spend more because you don't feel it as much as you do when you're actually pulling money out, real money, and handing it over to someone. And you might get some of it back, you might get none of it back. So it is a psychological thing that can be so powerful in helping you keep your budget under control. So I'm sure you're wondering if we use the cash envelope system. So the answer to that question is yes and no. We do actually have some envelopes that we use for just a few categories, primarily the kids. Each kid has an envelope, and that's so that we have cash on hand if we need it for something. So Henry has an envelope, Xanthi has an envelope, and Nikayla, or our granddaughter, has an envelope. That would be Xanthi's daughter. So we keep that on hand, so if we need to do something for them, we can easily grab cash for that. The other thing is, occasionally, you know, if the kids need something, we can just hand them a 20 if they need to have some spending money for something. You know, like recently, Nikayla was having some issues. I cannot remember. I think it was, she was having, the poor thing was a little gassy, and so we had to pick up some baby gas drops for her to put into her formula. And that was something that we just pulled out some cash and ran to CVS and picked up what we needed. So that was really nice to have on hand because it didn't really impact our budget. Other than that, we keep electronic envelopes for everything. And what we end up doing with that then is we use the EveryDollar app to supplement that so that we can actually see what we have available in different categories. And I actually have, you know, of course, there's the food category, and that has groceries in it, and that has dining out in it. But I also have envelope line items. So I have a whole section, a whole category in my budget called envelopes. And with that, we have a pet expense envelope. We have a miscellaneous envelope. We have a toiletries and household envelope. Of course, Henry, Xanthi, and Nikayla are all listed there so we can see them. We have a gifts envelope. Actually, gifts might be in sinking funds. I can't remember. But the point is, we have several electronic envelopes that I am monitoring through the EveryDollar app, and that's something that Matt can get into. You know, he likes to be able to pull out his phone and take a look at the app and see how much do I have. So, you know, I told him on Saturday, it was the 26th of May, I said, you know, we have $52 left for groceries to get us through the week. So, you know, we were doing some special things. James had a birthday this weekend, so we did some things there, and we, of course, had just the rest of the work week to get through and that kind of thing. So we wanted to make sure that we can make the $52 last all the way through the 31st so that when the first comes, we'll have a new bucket to use. So even though we're not using envelopes, you know, religiously now, back when I was single, if you watched our very first video, I talked about how I was on the Dave Ramsey plan as a single woman before I met Matt. And I was doing that when he came into my life, and I actually did it for more than 2 years after we met. I kept doing it, and he was watching me chip away at my debt. I had a consolidation loan from all my credit cards that I was paying down. And anyhow, I had been doing this whole thing for, I think, 2 years, or maybe 3, when he came into my life. And so, anyhow, I had learned to live on a budget, and I was doing everything with cash, and I mean everything. My image, so I have an image category, and that's for my hair. I get my eyebrows done, and for if I decide to get a pedicure or a manicure, and then cosmetics. And so I don't put a whole lot in it. I do more now, but back then I didn't put very much in it at that time. And but every time I went to get my hair cut, I took cash with me, and I paid with cash. Every time I had to go to the store and get dog food or cat food, actually it was just the dog back then. When I would go get dog food, I would take cash with me, and I would pay with cash. And boy, did that was really helpful, especially at the pet store, where I always wanted to buy a toy for my puppy at home. He was such a good boy, and he loved plush toys. And I was a sucker for his reaction and how excited he got. So I had a tendency to buy more than he really needed. He had a whole big basket full of toys. Using cash really helped me curb that and get that under control. So, you know, As somebody who has used it in the past, I absolutely believe that it can be an amazing thing. We are not doing that now. It's not to say that we won't do it again in the future, but for now, we just have these three. These are the three. And so, I don't know if you can see those. There's Henry, Xanthi, and Nikayla. Oh, I pulled up Henry again. Henry must have two. There you go. There's Nikayla. So they each have an envelope, and here's how I do this. Whoops, I hit the cord. Sorry about that. Okay, so within each envelope, the way that you do this, oops, apparently I've not been writing that one down. Let's try a different one. Here we go. Okay, so inside of each envelope, I just went and Googled this and found this and printed it and cut it. So this is the, it's basically a record of what money I've put in here. And so it shows that in February, I put some money in here and the balance was $20. And in March, I put another 20 in, and now we have 40. And then in May, I put another 20 in, and so now there's 60 in there. So there hasn't been a need for me to give him any money recently. And as you can see, there are the $60 to match up with the record. So I just keep one of those for each envelope. Now, this is really, really primitive and very basic. I mean, these are just regular envelopes, okay, that you would mail a letter or a bill in. This is not fancy at all. Now, I have done fancy, or official anyway. What I have here is actually, if you can see this here, it says Financial Peace University on it. And I can't remember if I got this in a kit when I went to Financial Peace or if it was something that I ordered separately. I do not recall. So this is the deluxe envelope system from Dave Ramsey. So here's what it looks like. Okay. So you open it up like this, and it's like a wallet. So you open it up and you have a place, oops, it's upside down, sorry. So you have a place to put your checkbook right here. Okay, if you wanted to put your checkbook in here. You have a place to put notes. So it comes with this. It comes with a handy dandy pen, a Financial Peace University pen. And then also in behind here, it has extra envelopes right back here. So in behind the notes, it has extra loose envelopes. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I would have ordered this a long time ago, so this may be a little bit different than what Dave is doing today, but this is what I got whenever I got this. I ended up not ever using it because I just couldn't figure out how Matt and I were going to, well, first of all, we weren't really on the Dave Ramsey plan. Let's just be clear on that. I never had the guts to get it started again. And because it's a lot of work and it can be, I just didn't want to have those conversations at that point in my life. I thought I did, and then we got this, and then whether it was through Financial Peace or I ordered it, we ended up not using it. But inside of it, you also have, besides those 4 loose envelopes, you also get these. So these are envelopes that are actually in here, and you can see you don't have to have a separate sheet because it gives you the option. Let's see if I can get that to, I don't know if I can get that to zoom in. So you put in the date, you put in where you used the cash, how much it was, and then what the balance remaining is after you took the money out. So you can do this. There's, I think, 4 or 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6. There's 6 here, plus the 4 loose ones. So you can have 10 categories in here. Okay. And I did this for a long time. I had a very similar deluxe envelope system, and we probably have it somewhere, that I was using when Matt and I got married. So I am still a huge proponent, and huge supporter of the cash envelope system. I think that I don't think, I know that it works. I know that it works. It does not work for everyone and for varying reasons, but don't just immediately shun it. Okay, so give it a chance. Even if you just did one category and you had one envelope. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be this. It can be, I put them away. It can be these. I mean, it's as simple as that. So anyhow, the cash envelope system is it is really a great tool when you are budgeting and trying to get things under control, and it helps keep control, and it really becomes a great partner in your goals, because it helps keep you that psychological, I don't want to spend the money. I loved seeing how much I could fill these envelopes up when I had them. And I had 10, I think I had 12. I think I had 12 envelopes. I had a lot of envelopes. And I loved keeping all the money in there and knowing I could see exactly how much I had in each one. And it was such a feeling of pride, and just I felt like I was doing the right thing. So don't be afraid of it. Give it a shot. Just try it for one category for a couple of months and see how it works for you. There are also a couple of other options in terms of keeping your cash with you. So there is the Savvy Sense wallet, and I will insert a picture here for you, and I will include a link down below to their site so that you can check it out. I think the cost for those is $30, and they have a lot of different patterns and not styles. It's all pretty much the same style, but it's a wallet that was developed specifically for having different cash envelopes. It has labels and everything in it. So I'll link that down below for you. The other thing is Rachel Cruz has come out with a clip system. And so she has wallets. Let's see, do I have any clips here? Doesn't look like I have any clips with me. So she has a wallet. So it's a very similar wallet. And inside of it, it's very similar to Savvy Sense in that it will have different slots for you to put your money in, but it includes colored clips that will help you identify quickly what the different types of categories you have in your wallet with you. So that's another option too, and I think that's around $30 or $35 as well. That's something that's just come out in the last year or two, and I've seen a lot of the personal finance YouTubers out here who are following Dave Ramsey, who have bought one and done reviews on them and that kind of thing. So I don't currently own one. Like I said, we don't use very many cash envelopes, and I don't need to carry it around with me. But I do think that it's definitely worth the investment. And the Savvy Sense in particular, again, I'm going to refer to Kelly at Freedom in a Budget, and also Angela from Our Life on a Budget. Those are the two people who I have seen that have had one that they've used for quite some time, like a couple of years, and it's really held up well. So, and there are others that have them as well. I think that the former Miss, I think it's Christy, the former Mrs. Jones, I believe she has one. I don't remember if she switched or not, but I've seen all three of those ladies using either or the Savvy Sense wallet or the Rachel Cruz clip system in her wallet. So anyway, those are some options for you to use as well when you are considering how you're going to do this. So that's all I've got for you today on the cash envelope system. I hope that you find this information to be helpful. Just because I don't use it does not mean that it is not a great option. You should absolutely consider it. I used it for years and it worked fantastically for me. So it just doesn't fit my lifestyle now. And no matter how you do it, just find something that works for you. And if the cash system is what works for you, then you need to figure out a way to organize it so that you are using it for what you intend it for. And I just wanted to give you a little bit of background on what it is and how it can help you and what types of tools are available, products are available for you to keep them, organized, to keep your cash your cash envelopes organized. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go. I'm Jen, and I am a wife, a stepmom, a human resources manager, and a grandma. I'm known as Lala around here, and I love that. And our granddaughter is going to be 7 months old this weekend, and she's starting to crawl, and it's been pretty awesome. And actually, her and Grandpa and me were playing tonight before I came down to do this video. So I'll just insert a picture here for you so you guys can see it. And she's just kind of the light of our life, and we love having her mom and her dad here. Getting to spend quality time with Xanthi has just been so amazing, and we just love having her here. And James is just, you know, they are engaged now, and so we are really excited for them and their family, and what life is going to bring for them. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the picture. And, you know, again, we are living life on a budget, trying to fight our way out of a whole bunch of debt. And we're out here to be accountable to one another, to kind of, we want to document our journey, and we want to have accountability partners, because Matt and I have a tendency to enable one another. And so this process has been so therapeutic for me to be accountable to myself, to be accountable to my husband, to know that I need to be accountable to other people who are following this and trying to learn from our mistakes and from our successes. So we really, really appreciate you guys being our accountability partner, and we just really hope that you'll come back and watch our journey. We are 3 months into this now, and it just keeps getting better and better. It doesn't mean it's always easy, but it is not nearly as difficult as it was 3 months ago when I posted our first video. So anyhow, we really, really appreciate you guys, and hope that you will come back and spend some more time with us. Until next time.